Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Let's Taste with the Intrepid Wino. My name is James Scaresbrook, and her name is Milky, or Millie, and it seems like she's joining me on almost every edition of Let's Taste now. Anyway, so today I'm looking at a winery that has regularly submitted samples for me to look at. I'm really appreciative for every winery that submits samples. It's very humbling to have the opportunity to look at people's wines that they put so much into, and I'm really excited to see the first 2018 wines from Tahbilk Winery, based in Nagambie in Victoria. And if you haven't already heard it on my podcast, the Vincast, I interviewed Alistair Purbrick, who is the owner and CEO of Tahbilk, and have had the opportunity to look at back vintage look at their old vine Shiraz. So I'm excited to, as always, excited to look at some new releases from Tahbilk, who is they are a carbon neutral winery, which is really exciting to see. I think more wineries should be taking such initiatives. But we are looking at two white wines and a rosé, which you can probably tell which one's which, on this edition. So let's start off with the 2018 Marsanne, which is the variety in the wine that Tahbilk is possibly most famous, or at least most recognised. Careful. Marsanne is a variety typically found in the Rhone Valley, most notably in southern Rhone. But yeah, it is a variety so closely associated with Tahbilk and that area of Victoria that it's basically the Hunter Semillon equivalent in Victoria, I think. And this is recommended retail of $19.50. So let's have a look. Typically pale and fresh, very light colour. Aromatic as always, really vibrant, lovely, juicy green and yellow fruits. Some apple-y, sort of lychee almost. Very pretty, very fresh. Let's taste. Very clean, very light. Very light. I seem to remember it was the 2016 and 2017 vintage was one of my wines of the year. I'm probably less excited about this 2018 version. It's still, you would argue, is still reasonably young, but I don't know, the palate doesn't really deliver on what the aromatic character promises. It's a bit lacking. It's nice and fresh, it's good drinking, but yeah, it's a little bit simple. A bit green as well. Anyway, let's move on to the second wine, which is 2018 Pinot Gris. Pinot Gris, as it's known in France. Pinot Grigio, as it's known in Italy. A Grauburgunder, as it's known in Germany. But the Pinot Gris would suggest that it's more in the kind of French Alsatian style, which is a little bit richer. So I'm interested to see if this certainly does present as a Pinot Gris style. It's got a reasonable amount of ripeness and character on the nose. It actually kind of reminds me more of Sauvignon Blanc aromatically. Recommended retail for this is $21.50. Yeah, it's got kind of a gooseberry, almost a tropical note to it. Let's taste. it's very interesting. It really does taste like a Sauvignon Blanc. There's just like a little bit on the end that kind of makes me think Pinot Gris and that kind of appley character. It's not a bad wine, it's just, it doesn't taste like Pinot Gris. Very strange. I mean, if that was labelled as a Sauvignon Blanc, I would say, yeah, that's great. You know, certainly, I prefer that over some certain New Zealand styles of Sauvignon Blanc. But apparently it's Pinot Gris. Very unusual. Yeah, I don't know how to kind of really talk about that one. Yeah, unusual. Third wine is a rosé from 2018, made of Grenache Mourvedre, which is a very typical blend in really historic Australian wine regions, slightly warmer Australian wine regions. It's also a variety you tend to see together in southern Rhone. This is also recommended retail for $21.50. Right away, I'm noticing that it's a lovely light pale pinky sort of colour, not unlike the kind of rosés you see in Provence, in the southeast of France. Certainly plenty of ripe fruits here. Strawberries and cream. Very friendly kind of aromatics for a rosé. And when I say strawberries and cream, I mean those like little strawberries and cream lollies. Have you ever had those ones from when you were little? You get maybe a mixed lolly bag. It does have kind of a candy aromatic component to it. Let's taste. It gives a bit of a creaminess to it, which kind of supports that strawberries and cream character. Again, it's very light. There's really not a lot of personality and flavour. It's kind of simple. These wines aren't bad. They're not bad drinking. They're just sort of kind of lacking personalities, lacking definition. They're not really saying anything. They're really simple wines. I'm not as excited about the 2018 vintage as I have been with previous releases from Tahbilk. Look, I think you can probably find these on special. If you get you get stuff like $15. Sure, grab a bottle. Get it nice and cold. But yeah, not super excited about them this year. I'm interested to see what some of the other wines that Tahbilk are releasing soon will be like. But on this occasion, I'm less than enthusiastic. But I do certainly appreciate the opportunity to look at wines from Tahbilk and any other winery who would be generous enough to submit some samples for me to look at. If you want to do that, please get in contact with me via my website, intrepidwino.com. Lots of other content there, excuse me, including writings I've done in the past. You can find me on social media as well, on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. I'm at Intrepid Wino. If you go to the Intrepid Wino YouTube channel, depending on where you're watching this video, subscribe to the channel. Lots of different videos there, including about 200 or so Let's Taste videos I've done in the past. Please do subscribe, leave a comment on one of the videos, like and share on social media. But until next time, cheers.